Bandita right off the bat. I think that would be good for information gathering early on.
Plus, with the playing trajectory being kind of quite not super to the east, but enough to the east with the phase 1 circle being quite heavily to the east, that is leaving a lot of teams on the west side of the circle. Harsh rotations are going to be required, and we are seeing teams instantly responding. In this case, it is Team 1218.
I'm hoping to not lose another member like early on of 1218.
Yeah.
Last game, it was Bandita versus Team Unique. This time, it could be happening versus Footballist. You know, hopefully that will not be the case. But no, this is a compound where really you can take fights early. But it's a little bit like also you would say Yasnai Polyan, and since you got so many cross sections, you don't have to take fights. It really depends on the play style. And I say that Footballist right now, there's no intention to go for it. There's no reason to go for the fight. And even the case also for the other side of 1218. So I would say if they can pull back, that would be great. But because now they're a little bit like merging together, a little bit like mixed up as players, the fight is potentially bound to break out, or at least we might lose a few members here.
Oh, man. So, like, these two teams, you know, Hacienda, it's on the northwest edge of the circle. I don't think it's going to be healthy for any of these teams to engage, to be perfectly honest. But I've also got to recognize the fact that there are quite a lot of teams around them, so they won't want to rotate away from Hacienda so early. They're going to want to wait for a lot of the teams to go more towards the central part of the circle. Otherwise, it might get caught out on rotating. So it's a tough situation for these two teams to be in.
No, back over to Picardo, Conina Power, Unicorns of Love. They're going to be pretty close. Is there one member missing of Conina Power? I mean, there was one that dropped pretty far on the plane path. I'm not too sure if he was able to get back over, but I don't think so. No, they actually only 3 members here. So hopefully there will be a...
No, they do have a full squad in the lobby.
Yeah, they do, but there's one member that dropped like the other way on the plane that is not actually in Picardo. I don't know where he is then. It's a little bit surprising to me. Where did he drop?
He's down to far south.
Oh yeah, he is.
He's down to far south. It's definitely risky because that minivan does make quite a good bit of noise. But I like the fact that they're kind of disengaging. They will want to be aware, but that shouldn't be too much trouble for them just yet. I'm a little bit surprised that they didn't pick up Gonzo in that disengagement. They've left Gonzo on his own, but I think that they might be trying to dupe Unicorns Love into thinking the full squad of disengage, and that potentially gives more space for Gonzo to disengage when Unicorns of Love leave Picado.
I think they just didn't want to like slow down the van next to Gonzo, pick him up, and then continue because that would make them an easy target. So I understand. And also Gonzo is seeming pretty safe in that location currently. So not too much of an issue. Dan, you're also going to have the other member of like Conina Power, so you're going to get back to the rest of the team. But Imperium, I got a little question for you. I just got tweeted out literally right now by Andrew on Twitter saying, and he was like showing us two on the desk and saying, I'm sure that these two casters are not just wearing like, they might be wearing shorts or just pants underneath. And that's like been a very big stigma of like casters that like, they're very well dressed on the top, but like the bottom part, they might just be naked. So I want to ask you, what are you wearing down there?
Jesus Christ, man. You know, God, I'm wearing shorts. I'm wearing shorts. Yeah, I'm wearing shorts. But in fairness, in my defense, I am wearing like a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah. So I'm not as smartly dressed as you. I never normally am because you bring the big boy French dress code. You know, whereas I'm just all casual potato like. Hawaiian shirt, shorts. It's a lovely, sunny, beautiful day in Ireland, just like it is in Miramar. And you know, it means that I'm relaxed, I'm hype, I'm ready to see what these teams can do. What about you? What are you wearing underneath your
I'm like wearing like a beige trousers, but with flip-flops. Like I got like everything, but I actually got flip-flops on.
Okay, no.
Would be to wear Crocs.
No. Are you wearing socks?
No, dude. What do you think I am? Like
Hey, I don't know, man. You know, like, you know, you could be a 50-year-old man inside a 20-something-year-old French boy's body. You know, I don't know, man. I had to ask the questions.
Oh, flip-flops and no. Oh, I'm going to have to go on a break. I'll be right back in Pyramid. I just need to go to the toilet real quick.
Okay, like, you're known as Iceman after all, so, you know, gotta be, you know. Hey, you just got to let it go, Max. You just got to let it go. It's a bit of a private joke. It's football. It's 1-2-1 engaging on each other in Hacienda del Petron. 2D team didn't get rough results, but didn't get the better results as Bandita with the AKM and the grenade nearly fixed.
Oh, that bounce though, that was so unfortunate, going to try and fight back, but oh, Soke hitting a headshot with that new M4 skin. Looking sexy along the way, of course, but that's going to be coming out. We didn't know it was going to happen in San Martin. The main reason why is because they were all just merging slowly together and there were no way for them to get back as a full squad and be able to rotate out of that area. Banditas should be normally dying out, or bleeding out, or getting flushed away. So for Bliss, they are now back almost as a full squad, so they can just completely push out 1-2-1-8 of the compound of San Martin. And I would not recommend to take this fight head on, but of course they're going to try and push down one member of Bliss in that building. Can they shut him down?
I like the aggressiveness coming out from 1-2-1-8. It's calculated, as we do see looks. I was talking to him, I did wish him the best of luck for his side coming into this game. The Turkish team look to try and, of course, hold on in this tournament. They have secured a World League spot, so on one hand, they have less pressure, but they will want to put in a strong showing against the other teams to put a little bit more fear in the eyes coming into the World League.
It might be that also they just want $15,000. You know, maybe that also. I think that's the part of it. Nah, he wants 15,000. Hey guys, if you don't want 15,000, I'll take them. I'm sure Imperium will take it too. You know, we can send our PayPal if you want later. It's fine. Just DM us on Twitter.
No, I only accept potatoes.
$15,000 off potato. How many potatoes that would do? You get one Imperium for free after that.
God damn it. Well, depending on so calculating the rate of one potato per euro, that's about 34 million potatoes.
Okay. Quick math, you know, we're going very deep in the scientific methods of potatoes in this one. This is what is great about, you know, PUBG Mobile esports. You never know what's going to happen in-game or even out of game. So I'm completely okay with that. A few teams are finally going to be rotating. You know, we're just rambling about, doing a few jokes along the way because, you know, phase one of Miramar, not always the most interesting thing happening. But now we're slowly going to get into the action as our second phase circle will be slowly closing up. Where might it take us?
What I do like is the fact that a lot of teams have kind of rotated. You see that line going from kind of northeast down to southwest of teams that are looking to kind of stay relatively in center circle. Red Reserve's rotation from around the power grid split up north to down by water treatment is really effective. But phase two centers up quite nicely. No hard shift just yet. And a lot of teams are already inside the circle. This is good, Max. I love the response from a lot of these teams, but La Bandita, which is not heavily central, but quite central, is going to be, in my opinion, quite a hot spot. Not inside it, but on the outskirts around La Bandita.
I think, like I talked about it a little bit earlier, right, is that towards Junkyard / Bandita is like great for high ground and just getting like information gathering early on. I'm really happy with like the fact that Unicorns of Love and Nomad Gaming went for that position, especially like mainly Nomad Gaming. They went up north of that area, so I'm a pretty big fan of that. Number one, you know what? They got a pretty good position. They got a 2-2 split across the road. This is their best rotation so far on these two games. Like, the first game was a little bit of a mess and a very delayed rotation. But here, this 2-2 split, I'm a pretty big fan of it. I'm not going to lie.
Same with Heroes X as well. Heroes X looking really good in a 2-2 split. Two of these teams really kind of looking good. The only thing I fear about number one is that, they kind of have high ground, but they are exposed from a couple more angles compared to Heroes X. That's something I've got to be careful of. Morteza as well, another player who has really, for me, shined in the scrims, at least as an individual player, looks very dangerous with the gun in his hand.
I definitely want to keep an eye out for them. Now, number one, a high ground a little bit on two members of Heroes X. Could get a little bit of Battle of Nox, but we don't have the intel on how many players are there, so I would definitely not recommend to commit too heavily. But now the blue zone is going to be closing on these players. Of course, it's only phase 2, so you can tank the blue for a little while longer. While Dream Eaters are a little bit slow on the responding side of that rotation, you know, not going dead center as they usually do. But I think they understand that, like, on the first few phases, you don't really have to aim center. Yeah. You want to get more information than anything else before committing for those positions and potentially taking fights.
And honestly, they have a really nice position. I mentioned La Bandita. They're on the outskirts of it, down the south edge. Really nice. It is above Los Leones, so they could catch a team maybe rotating around that. Another team that rotated very nicely is Ghost Skilla, down on the southeast location. They're going through kind of Impala right now, Max, and they can actually look to maybe go onto the high ground hills to the west of Impala, overlooking a lot of these teams.
Under the power, Gonzo got himself out of the compound earlier. He was fighting versus Unicorns of Love. But now you don't want to take that fight. You don't have the compound, and you would have to cross the road. This is a fight that you will almost 100% time lose. So just get out. Why Team Unique taking a little bit of a fight versus UDR Killers, one side of the map. We'll be interested to see how that is going to go. But of course, Konina Power, they know that this is not a fight worth taking, and they're going to rotate. This is like exactly what I was expecting from them.
Yeah, and they're also going more towards the center of the circle. I'm not a huge fan of Graveyard personally as a location, but for where they're sitting right now, it's a nice place to be in. It is securing them a spot in the circle. Next phase, maybe two. It's just a matter of how quickly they're going to react.
I'm not a fan of how Frozen was pushing on that just like so aggressively. It was like no cards or anything, but now at least he got to a position where he can actually hold on to. So the position he has currently is great. The way of getting there was a little bit wonky on my part, but we'll have to see.
Frozen, your brother.
Because Glaçon. Yeah, good job.
Glaçon, yeah.
It's an inside joke. I'm not going to go through. Okay, but like, well, maybe if you guys are nice in the chat, maybe I'll explain why my surname is Ice Cube.
I'm sure the mod Agath will explain everything in the chat. Just let all the people know why that's his name is Frost gets taken out to IGL. He was a kind of a bit of a sacrificial lamb on the rotation going down south in towards the circle, but it didn't go in his favor. Hopefully the rest of the team will survive.
You know what, to be completely honest, Red Reserve has been rotating pretty late on these circle shifts up north, so they are playing on the edge, and now as we're getting closer and closer, it's going to be very hard for them. We've seen Frozen just getting a nice spray on that M4 from such a nice distance, got to say, really happy with that, and Frost just going to be cruising his way through, and that was actually Frozen once more, so got himself an extra little bit of damage, so Frozen definitely doing really good with that position.
Honestly, like I said, Frozen, I said this is Frozen and Lightning, two incredible players. I really class them as probably the best duo in the PMCO EU regional finals right now. But Ulysses shuts down Frozen. I've just been cursed. I will shut up for the next bit. Oh, feels bad.
That's on you, Imperium. Oh, no, be careful. The real deal getting very close to two members of Nomad Gaming. But Daddy's like, I'm not going to overstay my welcome. Not worth it. Hackshot just going to run through the cars right behind him. Can he jump into it? Potentially, as you know, trying to do a little bit of wall climbing. But oh, this is a great position for Lunatic to try and get the shutdowns on the real deal, but not able to hit the shots as one car of the real deal is actually fuming up. So it might not be a valid option.
This is the location that I recommended for Ghost Skilla to go to from the southeast side, but they haven't rotated quickly enough. So that means it's been overtaken by Nomad, and especially Nomad, but also the real deal. I think that was a really badly missed opportunity for Ghost Skilla. It's going to make it harder for them to decide where to go and how to rotate the Dream Eaters onto WSK.
I mean, I understand why you want to play in the dip, but Argo there was like nowhere close. So if you're playing in the dip, you've got to commit to the dip. But now WSK, especially HMSC, could be a really big issue for them. Has a direct line of sight on Meku, on Argo, also as the rest of the squad. So we'll see if WSK will get the intel and if they will actually commit to this fight. They're on the very edge too, so if they rotate and if they give the information away, could get pretty tricky. Trying to hit the shot on HMSC, but will not be able to hit it as it's way too far out of reach.
Tell you what, considering Miramar is normally a slow-paced game, this game has gone pretty damn fast in my eyes. It's suddenly slipped by. The blue zone for Phase 3 is closing in. I think we spent a little bit too long making dad jokes. The Phase 3 did kind of go a little bit down towards the southeast, which you do see a lot of teams conglomerating there, and there is also a huge bunch of teams up in the north.
Rip trying to get a few shots. Oh, he gets it. He talked about him in game one, Imperium. He's great on that SLR. And now he's going to shift his focus straight on over to another squad. That's going to be Dream Eaters. But the smokes are buying him just a little bit more time, allowed him to give more rotations in that dip. The circle did shift, you know, over mainly the southeast. Now they're going to have to work. It's definitely one of the easiest circles. Could have been a lot worse for them. But WSK, are they going to allow that rotation to happen?
Yeah, but the harsh thing is that because it's shifted down the south east direction, all the teams up north, they're going to be looking to rotate. So it's still not going to be too easy for WSK. It's also not going to be easy for the real deal. They're getting punished by Dream Eaters.
Red Reserve up north, I said it, they're rotating way too late on this game, and that is going to be making them lose actually 3 members currently. Like, you're going to have Novas dying out to the blue zone too, so Red Reserve, they might die out in like last position if they keep on going like this. Will be a little bit, they'll fall from grace by doing that, yeah.
It would be, it wouldn't be a good follow-up, to be perfectly honest. You know, you got to show consistency. Normally, Red Reserve have been consistent in the past, but just not going for them in game 2, should I say, is Nicola for Nomad Gaming tries to find the members of Dream Eaters. Looks to camp them on towards the edge of the circle. Out in the open, Dream Eaters are. Yes, they have 3 vehicles, but they are not
even there.
Fast vehicles. Plus, never mind the fact that rotating in vehicles late game on Miramar is incredibly difficult because that rough terrain slows that vehicle down incredibly.
Yeah, and also they're not even in the circle, so they've got to push once more. The Heroes X, they're going to do a similar rotation. I've got 2 cars under the control. They're going to try and force towards the position of Nomad Gaming. But Nomad Gaming, I've got to say, that position is great. Can pull off Reses super easily. I'm a big fan of how they're pulling this late game stage off.
Yeah.
And Res deserve out.
They still got to be very careful. But yeah, it's still an incredible position. Unfortunately, Res deserve. Grand now, Heroes X are coming in the power. Engaging on each other with the grenades being flown out.
Nade's connecting a little bit. Oh, that might be a great nade from Kudor. Will it connect? I'm not too sure. It will put them pretty damn low. But can they now commit? If they get another knockdown, I wouldn't be surprised if Heroes X actually go all out. But that was another nade that just got chucked. I saw it right around them, and it will get a little bit more damage dealt out. But how can they make it work out? The real deal, you know, on checking out the top left of your screen, down to only Bujo, unfortunately, the IGL. So feels a bad man on this second game.
Yeah, it's just, honestly, it's just one of those engagements for these 2 teams. They got to try and hold on. Whichever comes out on top will have a little bit more space. But from the third-party perspective, N1 ready to take the punishing blow onto both of those teams.
Of course, now Cunning Power still in 4 members, despite having a hard spot, having like 3-4 teams around them that have an angle on them. That is going to be pretty harsh for them. They've got to try and rotate now before the circle shifts away from them and they get pressured by the blue zone. So they've got to be very reactive to phase 5 as it does show up. Unicorns of Love, UDR Killer is going to be taking a fight. We can see it in the kill feed currently happening. But number 1 still in play, and they're playing a lot more reactive on these circle shifts. I got to say, like, they're going to start rotating pretty soon, I do believe.
And they're sticking together as a full team. They're really looking a lot better on the rotations as a full team. They're really being cohesive as a unit. It's still not over though yet, right? We still have 15 teams and 45 players, Max. We're in towards phase 5. It's definitely not going to be the toughest or easiest game for these teams as they try and fight off against each other. Nice shots coming out from Tixie.
Yeah, Tixie doing a great amount of work for his squad. Able to connect so many knockdowns, double knockdowns to be honest on number 1. But they are so close together, nade could be an issue, but because they're so far away from most of these squads, a nade really shouldn't be a main issue for them right now. They've got to pull off the reses, but I would say even for Cunning the Power, to make sure this team is not going to be an issue, pop the wheels, pop the cars out. Like, they've already got 1 car fuming, destroy the other 2, and like that, number 1 should be out of commission.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. It's still tough to deal with, right? It's going to be incredibly difficult. He's just doing his best to spot a pixel out of place and take a body down. But as phase 5 has centralized up, these teams are outside the circle. Heroes X, the real deal, do get eliminated as Heroes X try and find the members of N1.
No, snakes are not too much of a valid option, and Bujo knew it. He knew it was going to happen eventually. They take 15th position. But now, team's going to have to rotate in the next upcoming 5 seconds, Imperium. And now, Heroes X could be a really, really big thorn in the side of the team that's a little bit lower. That's going to be, of course, Cunning the Power. Cunning the Power, I don't think they even have, like, too much of an intel of, like, where teams are located, mainly in the circle. Nice. And Dream Meters are behind them, too. But it is so many more sprays coming out, and Dream Meters, they do not want to allow Cunning the Power to make that rotation just through the smokes, Advocates. And he gets the Gonzo down.
Oh, nice by Advocate. And that's exactly what you need to do, right? When you're at phase 5, when you're outside the circle, honestly, the best way to play this game is, yeah, if you can send 1 to 2 members into the circle, great. But you've got to try and get as many kills as you can. Pick up those kill points because there's a high chance when there's still 14 teams that you're not going to get a high amount of placement points.
I see number 1 were able to rotate because they still got those cards. I still think they should have shut them down, but now Football is slowly getting pushed upon by Sun HP. They're going to buy some time with that utility, while Tulikav 1218 is just snaking his way through. Being a rattlesnake of Miramar's. Cunning Power, unfortunately, do die out. We could kind of expect that to happen eventually. They do die, and of course, that will be also followed suit with Team Unique, struggling on that side of the rotation over on the northeast.
And all the while, the teams down south, Dream Eaters and Nomad Gaming have a nice, clear position because they are on the side of that nice mountain that I'd recommended for Goatskilla. They're on their own. They've got Dream Eaters a little bit to the west of them, but it's nothing too crazy right now. NGG Itachi looking to pop out the bodies of Heroes X.
Heroes X only down to Morteza now, so that might be the end of their tail in this game. We'll have to keep an eye out for that in the kill feed. Of course, they're going to scout out the last member, 1218, and that will be the end of their second game on Miramar. 1218 out, of course, 11th position. Top 10 teams remaining. They get the information of Footballist. They tried to pull off the race, but they do not know that Son HP is there, and he will get the nice shutdown on the entire squad of Footballist.
Now suddenly we're down to 7 teams, Max. 22 players. Footballist, Heroes X snapped out of play as WSK are finally eliminated. The circle shifts up north right into the hands of N1 and NGG. N1, they already have their world spot secured, whereas NGG, they're looking for that World League spot. In the last game, they only finished in 10th place with 3 kills.
Ghost Killer and Drew Meters are rotating at the exact same time, and you know what? That is not going to end up well for these teams. And Nomad Gaming, they're just getting a huge backstab. They're rotating really late, but they're going to try and capitalize on overstaying their welcome by getting as many frags as possible by clearing the slate that is this phase 6 circle. Nomad Gaming going to go for the rotation in advance, but they can't get the shutdown. And Meku going to be backstabbed by none other than NGG and Ghost Killer just taking shots at them. And now, of course, they make it work out, and Dream Eater's buying some time with the smokes, but boy, oh boy, how did Nomad make it there?
Oh man, the Mad Max plays for Nomad Gaming in amongst the smoke. Satsora trying to find the team of Dream Eaters. That's going to be one knockdown, but from behind, Thanos snaps Satsora into place, pushing back Nomad Gaming. Satsora will most likely lose his life as Lunatic and Nicola try to make an entry point into the circle. Lunatic with the mini 14 popping towards Goskilla. Anybody on the north side of the circle.
Oh, there you go. Unfortunately, Thanos, you know what? The gauntlet was too powerful for himself. He's going to be snapped out of this game. And Dream Eaters will take 7th position. Still got to say that is still a pretty consistent performance so far. And Nomad, of course, they're going to be losing every single member. Nicolas, Satsuri, Aldic out of commission. And you're going to have to remain now on Lunatic. And you know that rotating late like that in the open areas of Miramar on phase 6 and later is going to be a really hard feat to achieve.
And Max, go Skilla. Man, they found a spot. They rotated pretty harshly, but they were one of the first teams to go past Nomad Gaming to get onto the south side of the circle, and it's paid off for now. They're 3 members up. You do have the 3 members of NGG on the north side, as well as N1 and Unicorns of Love. There is still a couple of players of Team 5 left standing, but they are not going to be looking good on the edge of the circle.
Now, Goskiller want to play this, right? They are the only team with now 4 members. You want to hold to that man advantage for as long as member. And you want to try and just keep it as long as possible. And less and less the players are going to be remaining on the opposing side, the more you want to try and spread evenly. This is like the similar scenario to what Red Reserve had on that first game, right? And you want to try and spread out evenly because you have no teams in the south. They are alone there. So they can try and just control the area.
But you can't let teams get too close to you, right? Otherwise, you have a chance to be third party. So, yeah, you can afford to be a little bit passive, but you now got to be aggressive because the circle shifts up towards the northwest. N1, NGG, inside the circle. You do have Unicorns of Love. They're hurt, they're damaged, but they're in to the top 4. We did lose Team 5 just a few seconds ago.
I'm seeing some cars getting prepared for Goskiller. I'm a little bit scared about that, but unfortunately, there's not too much of a way to make it otherwise. If they had some smoke, some utility, I don't know how much they have, but that would be the best and safest way to get yourself over there. But, you know, the Unicorns of Love, they're going to have to do pretty similar rotation. Now Goskiller going to get scattered out by NGG. They got the high ground. Can they see Whitey? Not quite. Aegon comes on through, but unfortunately not able to convert any of those shots into actual knockdowns.
And he actually gets hurt in the process, so he's got to try and heal himself up. Got to lick your wounds and look to try and move forward. But NGG, they're ready to stop them in their tracks. The team of N1, they stay fairly quiet on the west side. They're going to allow the other teams around them to take each other out and maybe look to pay the price. But Halls gets knocked down, clapped by Whitey, the IGL of Ghost Skilla.
I said it, this is the way, safest way. Don't want to go for the cards, want to go for the smokes. Oh my god, there was such a nice attempt from Savage X, but unfortunately, not going to result in anything significant happening. He sees PRZ, go for the spray. Can he get the knockdown? Oh, that spray should connect Aegon, and that might be your downfall. And now they're going to fight back straight into the faces of this team, and Goskiller will finally be able to get it, actually, because they got the man advantage, but they need to try and get back Savage X, and also Whitey, if they can. The smokes are buying him enough time, but they're wearing off, and NGG, this is fishing time, picking up 2 frags along the way.
Oh, but we haven't forgotten about Unicorns of Love. They can stab NGT in the back. We do lose Goskiller, finishing up in 3rd place as the members of the Unicorns of Love try and fight up, hit and win forward, got clapped by Cupid. Talon trying to heal up against the Blue Zone, but I feel he might be trying to just heal up. It's going to be too much. Unicorns of Love, I don't think they're going to survive this. I think this game is going to be going over to NGG, Max.
Yeah, of course, he still has one more first aid kit, and then it will be the end of that. He's going to try and run, I would say, deny the kill. Just die to the Blue Zone is the best way to do it. But NGG, they'll be, of course, taking this second chicken dinner of the day on Miramar. How many kills is that total? Let me see. Only 4 kills. You know what? I thought they would actually get more despite seeing that very aggressive position on the high ground. But you know what? There's still 4 kills and a chicken dinner, ramping up to a grand total of 24 points on the second game. They take the second chicken dinner of day 1.
But look at Goskiller, 10 points for 3rd. 10 kill points, giving them a nice, juicy 20-point game, followed by Unicorns of Love getting 4 kills, 18 points in total. Nomad Gaming, 6 kill points. Not as aggressive or not as, let's say, kill hungry as I thought they might have been, but at the end of the day, they still got that consistent result, which we know Nomad Gaming formats all the way back to 2019 Spring Split. They were one of the teams that were always up there in the top standings, whether it was on kill points or placement points alone, and I'm not surprised that they have gotten another good result in this game.
No, a team that has got like another decent result here, even though they didn't get like top 5 in the overall standings, but because they got 7 kills, they made it in top 5. And that's actually 2 top 5s in terms of point in a row. They got themselves actually second position last game because they got so many frags and they make it once more. I got to say, they have been extremely consistent, way more consistent than during the scrim. So I say maybe the underdog team of this entire regional finals. I can't wait to see how the next games are going to be following suit for them.
Oh, man, but it's still kind of early days, right? Yeah, we've had 2 games so far. We've shown 2 teams to kind of get those chicken dinners. We've seen teams be aggressive, but we've yet to really see a pattern, right? We've yet to really see, a team climb high and get the kind of 2 chicken dinners in a row, right? So, I want to see that moment. I want to see that one team to really show everybody around them that they can pull out that performance 2-3 games in a row.
I mean, in terms of rotation specifically, I got to say Nomad Gaming, one of the best teams in terms of their rotations, reading the map very well. Unfortunately, on this second game on Miramar, the circle didn't shift closely towards them. They had to go for a 2-2 split, which was the best way to do it. But it was going to be really hard on them, as we did know. You still get himself in a pretty decent position. Top 5 on this game. And of course, you're going to see Sun HP just getting a backstab on top of... But so many backstabs happening in this game.
And once again, like Team 5, they are the silent killers. They aren't really showing too much on the kill feed. Not on the kill feed, but on the camera feed. They're not really going in the heat of the action, right? They're not putting themselves in a point of being put under too much pressure, but they're getting the kills and they're putting in the results. Really impressed with how they're playing.
And of course, at the end, you got Goskiller trying to go for the rotation. If the smokes lasted a little bit longer, I wouldn't be surprised if they will actually be able to pull off those double reses and actually make it further. It was like Whitey and Savage X, if I'm not mistaken, that they had to res. And of course, they